Hi, and welcome to class today. Today we're going to talk about the first section of your scoring for WriteScore, and that is the focus, purpose, and organization section. This makes up 40% of your overall score, or 4 out of the 10 total points. The scoring breakdown is as follows. Focus, purpose, and organization makes up 40%, or 4 out of 10. Introductions and conclusions make up roughly 16% of your score. Progression, transitions, and focus make up roughly 20% of the overall score. And each of these sections gets approximately 8% of the overall weight. They're not very clear with us how much weight each section gets, but we can assume with simple math that it's about 8% per section. Introductions. It's important to make a good introduction, and the same is true in your essays. So explanatory introductions should include an opening statement, a thesis, and an overview of support. Argumentative introductions, however, are a little bit more involved. You need an opening statement. You need to outline the issue or problem. You need to mention the counterclaim or the opposite side of the argument. Give your thesis, and then your overview of support. So there's quite a bit more that you're responsible for there. And then some techniques to help you with your opening statements. You can use a description that's related to the topic. A really great one is this short story or anecdote that is related to your topic. That's one that works really well. Even in informational text that you see in the newspaper or magazines, those always go over really well and draw the reader in really well. You can use a famous quote. You can use a statistic. And finally, you can use a rhetorical question. And you guys are really good at using rhetorical questions. So I'm going to tell you, I'd only want to see a rhetorical question used in combination or in conjunction with one of the other techniques. Conclusions. Conclusions are pretty much the same structurally, or as far as your responsibilities are concerned. It doesn't matter explanatory or argumentative, you pretty much wrap it up in the same way. The first thing you're going to want to do is give your essay a sense of closure. This is sort of a transition piece. It allows you to sort of wrap up the essay, but a good way to do this is by restating your thesis, not repeating, rewording or restating your thesis. The next thing you need to do is reinforce that the thesis has been proven. And again, this sounds hard, just like giving the essay a sense of closure, but it can easily be done by restating your overview of support. And then finally, you need to leave an impression on the reader. And this is what I feel is the most important part of your conclusion and one of the most important parts of your essay. How you leave an impression on the reader is the mark of a good writer. So being able to leave an impression on your reader and have them think about your writing long after they've set it down, that's what makes a good writer. It's not that you use big fancy words or that your grammar is perfect. It's that your ideas make a mark on the person who read them, and they carry those ideas with them past just reading your essay. That's the mark of a good writer, and that's what you're going for at the end. So some techniques for leaving an impression. You can look to the future. You can use a shocking statistic or fact. You can use a provocative question or statement, and provocative, its root word is provoke. It means to start a fight or, provoke anger, provoke fear, provoke sadness, provoke happiness, provoke some sort of emotion within your reader that keeps them thinking about this. Evoke a vivid image or describe something in great detail. Or use a call to action, get your reader involved. Progression has to do with how well your ideas progress through the essay or move through the essay. Your overview of support in the introduction should reflect the order of your ideas that you're going to use in your essay. Your first body paragraph should be your best and most important idea. The second paragraph should be your next best idea, and so on from there, until you get to the conclusion, obviously, and then you're wrapping up. Your ideas should be related and build strong support for your thesis. Transitions, and we've talked about this a little bit this year, but this is one that they really take a good hard look at, especially in the 7th grade. But transitions are the words and phrases that help us move from one idea to another. These techniques are usually found at the beginnings of sentences, at the beginnings and ends of the paragraphs in your essay. Think of them as guides that let your reader know you are moving to a new idea. And then if you want, this image over here is actually a PDF or a copy of the paper that we used in class. So if you want, go ahead and I'll put the PowerPoint in Canvas, download this, right-click on this image, and then download that to your computer so you always have it, or save it to OneDrive so you always have it. Focus. Focus is your ability to stay on topic. And that's hard for us sometimes, especially if we have a lot that we know about a topic. It is important to thoughtfully fulfill the responsibilities of each sentence and paragraph within the essay. So what I mean there is we have that structure of the essay. We know what we have to do in each paragraph in order to fulfill those responsibilities. And rather than filling it up with words or filling it up with sentences, like saying I have 8 sentences in this paragraph, I'm done, fulfill the responsibilities. The number of words and paragraphs and sentences will take care of themselves. And you'll notice in the end that your writing is much more focused, much more efficient, and much more effective. But we can easily lose focus if we are just trying to fill an essay with words or sentences. And that's why I don't tell you how many words make up a good sentence or how many sentences make up a good paragraph. And that's it for this first part of our WriteScore tutorial.